Hey Duck fans, this is Matt Walk, sports editor of the Emerald. With me as always is Issac Rosenthal, our digital editor. And we're here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum where the number 4 Ducks just beat the USC Trojans 62-51 behind some explosive firepower.
Yeah, I mean, you know, explosive offenses on both sides of the ball. Michael Clay said this week it was going to be an art watching these two offenses compete, and I think masterpiece would be a pretty fitting description for how both Oregon and USC played on offense tonight.
Oregon got off to a hot start. Senior running back Kenyon Barner ended up having a historic day, shattering program records on his way to 321 yards, 5 touchdowns actually. He had one.
Don't forget that late one.
In garbage time on nearly 40 carries. Marcus Mariota had a huge game, 20 of 23, very efficient. He was the redshirt freshman on the road who outplayed his senior counterpart for USC, All-American Matt Barkley.
Yeah, you know, you look at the stats and you'll say, well, Barkley had more yards, but Barkley had more yards on about 9,000 attempts passing, which is basically par for the course for how USC plays. And Barkley threw interceptions and Mariota didn't. And in a game where you have offenses that both of them are as high-powered as this, if you turn the ball over, you're not going to have success. And that showed itself tonight.
USC wide receiver Marquise Lee, we knew he was going to be a danger coming in. He lived up to expectations, had over 150 yards receiving, had a 75-yard bomb from Matt Barkley. He had some help, but he just seems so athletic, so hard to bring down, and his body control is just so effortless.
Yeah, you know, he had those 12 catches for 157 yards. It wasn't actually USC's leading receiver. Nelson Aguilar had that honor, but it just seemed like every time he looked up, Marquise Lee was catching a pass and shaking about 8 or 9 tackles before he managed to get brought down. He's a fun one to watch.
Part of that too is his all-purpose yards were so high. He had an 80-plus yard kick return. He just seemed so elusive every time he had the ball. Up next for the Ducks, they'll travel on the road again to play Cal in Berkeley. And what are we looking for in that game?
You know, that game, I think that the defense and the opponent that Oregon will face in that game, certainly Cal is no USC, but this is a Pac-12 where you really never know what's going to happen in any given week, and that's a Golden Bear team that's struggled so much this season. They kind of are starting to fall into that angry football team category, and you never want to play a team that's angry.
So Oregon still unbeaten. We'll have all the coverage for you next week.